Just remember, if you're in a dysfunctional family, you always have those friends that you can turn to, and don't forget that. There's always someone out there that can help you. You're never quite alone. Welcome to Twin Talks. I'm Nadia.
And I'm Nikki.
And today's episode is, when do you choose your friend over family to preserve your mental health? There are situations sometimes where in the family dynamic, you can't really turn to the people in the family because the same thing happens over. What do you do?
Every family has their good and bad, right? I usually go to you when I have the big problems, right? Or husband or something like that. But for other people, you don't always have that person like Nad, or the dynamic could be toxic within the family.
Yeah.
So in those cases, what's wrong with going to a friend? Because you get to choose your friend.
When you say toxic within the family, what do you mean?
Sometimes within families, just by the nature of it, by the different personalities, there are patterns that have been established since childhood.
Right.
And sometimes, even when you were a kid, you weren't really liking it, but you had no power over it.
Right.
Right? And so sometimes the family, just by the nature of the personalities, you don't feel comfortable going to them because that level of trust or those patterns have not developed well over the long term. So you don't have that relationship to be vulnerable with them.
Like they might experience judgment.
Yeah.
Or they might shame you.
Yeah.
Or they might guilt you if you're in a situation that you didn't necessarily expect to be in.
Yeah.
Is that what
That's correct. And so that's what I'm talking about. There are, and I say again, there's so many excellent families where people can go to each other for support, and it's not a problem. These aren't the ones we're talking about. There are people who come and they could be judged, they could be abused, they could have any kind of dynamic that doesn't instill that attachment that's secure. So they go and they find a friend that will give them that. And that's why you have friends that you choose. I think it's the best thing for people who need that objective opinion and maybe can't find a therapist, but they can use their friend temporarily until they get through to the next level and feel better about things.
So do you think that blood is thicker than water, or do you think that friendships can be thicker than family?
No, family is family. That is the strongest thing that you can have.
Yeah.
But of course, if you're not in a tight family, you are choosing your family. So for some people who don't have a lot of biological family, they have family in the friends they choose, and some of those friends are just like family.
Yeah.
But for me, I have a few people I can go to, and
Other than me?
I have a few people I can go to.
Wow.
Well, you and husband and kids and stuff, I can go to different people. But for those who don't, they might need their friends to come in and help them through difficult times. And I think that's important, to be a friend, to listen on some level.
I agree, because there are some families where you may not have the listening. It could be an older child, younger sibling kind of dynamic, where the younger sibling may not be heard,
or vice versa.
There could be all kinds of things that's going on in the family, and sometimes family members do things to others in the name of family, and sometimes it's not right in the name of family. So sometimes you really do have to choose your second family, which is your friendships. That can count as something too. Your friends, you can actually choose your family. You can't really choose your biological one. So if you get connected with people who you think are as tight as family, like friendships, I think you should use it until you can move forward.
There's a distinction, right? If you have somebody you can be vulnerable with in your family, then go with it. If you don't have that person in family and you choose a friend to go to, as long as the friend's not turning into the therapist, go to the therapist if you need like real extensive work. But if you're just going through like a tough time, then it's totally normal.
Golden, yeah.
That's what you have friends for.
Just remember, if you're in a dysfunctional family, you always have those friends that you can turn to, and don't forget that. There's always someone out there that can help you. You're never quite alone.
Yeah, and if you enjoyed this episode, please like the video. New topic ideas, feel free to put it in the comments below. See you next time on Twin Talks. This was meant to be a tool, and now it's a way of just getting it done quickly sometimes.
That's, to me, just laziness. The phone's smart. Just make you, that you're smart.